this took a lot of time to figure out how to get the spring chimes to work in Cakewalk. So here's a request that I received from Yada Yada. All right, shout out to Yada Yada. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correct. This is dealing with some plugins that he was having trouble with in Cakewalk, and he wanted me to see about downloading and installing Lotta Mini and spring chimes, right? So I just downloaded those. Pianobook is where you get spring chimes from. It did take me creating an account, which was pretty simple. Keep in mind that these are samples and it's not a VST, and it might be, Yada, where you having some problems. You need some type of sampler in order to pull it up. So you can do it by Kontakt, you can do Decent Sampler or SFZ. I have SFZ and I have Kontakt. So Decent Sampler is right here. It's on the decentsamples.com. It is a free plugin, so I might as well go ahead and install that as well. Now, I'm gonna tell you that there's two different ways that you can download and install it. Well, you really don't install it. It's a sampler, so you kind of just really adding the samples to whatever player you use. Kontakt works well. I had more trouble with that one, and I really didn't like using it for this particular sampler, or this samples rather. So I chose to install Decent Sampler. Now, if you haven't checked out Decent Sampler, it is a free sampler as well. You just create your little account, put your email in there, and then you can download it. It is a VST2, so it is an older one, but it still works well. All right. So what I did was, once I installed Decent Sampler, I created an instrument track. You know how to do that by now. You should know how to do it. And then what I did was I copied all of the things that I downloaded. So I went to my downloads. Of course, I had to extract. And when you go to download spring chimes, you should see the DS version or you should see the Kontakt version. So DS is what I downloaded. I did download Kontakt too as well. And I just clicked on it, and it doesn't, like, there's no way to install anything like that. These are the actual samples right here. And then, I mean, these are the samplers, and then the samples are all here. And I was having trouble trying to keep them all together. So what I did was just copy all of this. I just copied everything, basically. I copied everything, press copy. I went to C drive, went to program files, went to Cakewalk, went to VST plugins, and I created a folder called Spring Chimes Kontakt, Spring Chimes Decent, and copied and pasted right there. That way, when I go into Decent Sampler, when it first pops up, it's gonna ask you, did you create an account? And if you create an account, it's gonna actually log in. If you haven't logged in, then it's gonna ask you to create an account, because on here, they also have their own samples that you can download. I'm not worried about those right now. Then I have my library, then you have your file browser. So it was a little weird trying to figure out where to look for stuff at, but once you are browse, you should be able to go back and you should see a section that says file. Now, when you exit out of the first time and then you go back into it, you might see something that pop up that says, hey, in order to browse your computer, you got to choose what folder you need to go to. So I had to choose a folder, which I chose. If I go to load, you'll see it's under Cakewalk VST plugin, Spring Chimes Decent. All right. So, and in here, I can just choose whichever one I want to do. I haven't done rainfall yet, so let's see what that sounds like. It'll load. Adjust the modulation on this. Adjust the reverb. Okay, you can adjust the attack. Adjust the release. And then I can adjust the volume. I can tune it. So this is a very simple sampler. It doesn't allow you to do a lot of stuff, but you do the basic stuff, all right? So this is Spring Chimes. Hopefully this helps you understand how to use it. I got to figure out Kontakt. Once I figure out the way it really works well in Kontakt, because what I was having a problem with was I was able to just click on, like, you know, an instrument like this, and it couldn't find all the individual samples. Then I had to go like have it find the samples, and you don't want to keep doing it every time you change patches. That's dumb. But anyway, I'll get back to working on that. But download a Decent Sampler. There's a link for that in the description. There's a link for all the other plugins, and I hope this does help out.